Put him in the lake. 5 in the chest like Ant-Man. It worked. Grover Cleveland. What the hell? What the hell? Freaking Grover Cleveland. 5 in the chest like Ant-Man at work. Five in the chest like Ant-Man at work. Wow. I don't want nothing, dude. 5 in the chest like Ant-Man at work. Sydney Sweeney ad. Sydney Sweeney. IRI. Why did IRI name drop me? What's that all about? 5 in the chest like Ant-Man at work. You told me 3 months ago the economy would be in a deep depression now because of the tariffs. If he would have kept the exact tariffs, yes, it would be. If he kept 140% tariffs on China, yes, it would be in a depression, yes. He did not keep those. They turned off and on like 50,000 times, went down. They were paused for like 3 months across the globe. I'm sorry you're too stupid to know that, but it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. You think you're smart? I don't want to hurt your feelings, okay? My goodness. Sydney Sweeney and the jeans. Is she a Nazi? That's what the internet said.
Sydney Sweeney has very canes.
Okay, so this story just seemed kind of goofy, to be honest with you. I was kind of skimmed it, and the fact it's gone viral is just so stunning. So apparently, an actress by the name of Sydney Sweeney did a advertisement for American Eagle jeans, and they did something kind of, lighthearted. Oh, she has great jeans, and while she was wearing jeans. Okay. And everyone lost their mind now calling this Nazi propaganda, saying that this is fascism if you like Sydney Sweeney wearing jeans.
It could be. So I don't know if it was intentional. It definitely could be. I know she's a little bit weird when it comes to that. She's used as a symbol from the right wing because she's a not very smart, but like she fits the model of like the blonde, like not really trad wife, but like the ideal for a lot of really weird people on the internet. They use her as a symbol for that. I don't know if she meant that, you know, or American Eagle meant that, but people on the internet do use Sydney Sweeney for that purpose. Like the stereotypical dumb blonde, that kind of thing, and then using her as a cultural touch point. I think the advertisement is definitely weird. Her voice annoys me more than anything, to be honest. That really dumb voice, like, I have great genes. My genes are so amazing.
Now, first of all, the idea of like genes mattering, isn't that the entire idea of 23andMe and Ancestry.com? Haven't we had this entire like mass proliferation of you spit into a thing and you come back and you find out all about your genes? But no, you can't.
That's more of an interesting thing. We don't use... Oh, dude, Charlie Kirk is self-reporting so hard right now. You don't use 23andMe to find out your genetic stock. You use it to find out some interesting facts about your family tree or your like lineage. It's not because we need to know our genes because you have good or bad genes. That's like that's the main point of people that I know, at least, that did 23andMe.
Talk about genes because that's eugenics. This is Good Morning America. They've made this... You want to know why young men are moving right? Because young men, they're like, oh, wow, I like Sydney Sweeney or whatever. You know, some of these Gen Z men. You're a fascist. Oh, really? You're going to call young men a fascist? The best way I could put this, let's play cut 425, and I'll give you an example. 425.
We begin with the backlash over a new ad campaign featuring actress Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, the ads are for American Eagle, and the tagline is, Sydney Sweeney has...
I mostly see people saying it looks a little bit weird and making jokes about it, like giving a parody for it, because it is really funny and weird. Like, it is a really weird dystopian-sounding commercial. The right wing takes something like that, which could be a lighthearted joke, or could be like, hey, this is a little bit weird, and they say, the left is calling all of us Nazis, blah, 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 you're a victim. Charlie Kirk making white men, especially young white men, out to be feeling like they are victims of society, and everyone's against them, is one big reason why right-wingers, or at least why young men are moving to the right.
Has great genes. Now, in one ad, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed actress talks about genes as in DNA being passed down from her parents.
The play on words is being compared to Nazi propaganda with racial undertones.
It does have those undertones. It depends on if it was intentional or not. Now, Charlie Kirk, remember, Charlie Kirk's someone who says that if you're brown in America, you ruin America. If you're brown or Muslim in America, you ruin Western civilization. Legal or illegally here, by the way. You could be an American citizen born in America. And Charlie Kirk still says that. So, like, Charlie Kirk repeats literal, direct, Christian nationalist, KKK adjacent propaganda. Not exactly, but adjacent, close to that. He's a Christian nationalist. He believes, and a white nationalist. He believes America is mostly for Christian men, mostly for white Christian men, with some exceptions. He's getting a little bit more mask off as time moves on, but like when he says like black pilots are only pilots because they're black and they can't really fly, and all the other racist lies he says over and over and over and over again, it's really
good genes activates troubling historical associations for this country. The American eugenics movement in its prime between like 1900 and 1940 weaponized the idea of good genes just to justify white supremacism.
Despite that backlash, American Eagle stock has been soaring.
Okay. Sydney Sweeney has great genes. I need to know who worked on the advertisement. I really do. I got to know who works on it.
You want to know why young men are moving to the right? Here they are in ABC with some old crow saying that this is pushing forward eugenicism. I want to just, for those in the older audience, imagine if they would have done this with like Brooke Shields or Kathy Ireland 30 or 40 years ago.
Who cares?
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. It is weird.
To go. And the entire left is losing their mind. They're saying that Sydney Sweeney is Nazi propaganda. And honestly, the ad was like, okay, it wasn't like that unique. It's not nowhere close to offensive. They did the same ad with Brooke Shields, but we now have a bunch of what I call the Subaru gang. You know what I mean by the Subaru gang. Play cut 427. Chief.
Let's see how this one.
The secret of life lies hidden in the genetic code. Genes are fundamental in determining the characteristics of an individual and passing on these characteristics.
Okay, this one's more funny. She's like putting on. It's more funny.
In determining the characteristics of an individual and passing on these characteristics to succeeding generations. Occasionally, certain conditions produce a structural change in the gene, which will bring about the process of evolution.
She sounds like a dorky science nerd saying this, putting on the jeans like a silly, goofy pants on the floor, though. It's not like the whole demeanor and tone is different.
This may occur in one or more of the following ways. Firstly, by selective mating, in which a single gene type proves superior in transmitting its genes to future generations. Secondly, by gene drift, in which certain genes may fade away while other genes persist. And finally, by natural selection, which filters out those genes better equipped than others to endure.
At least it's goofy. I mean, she's about to scratch her ear with her own toenail.
In the environment. This may result in the origin of an entirely new species, which brings us to Calvin's and the survival of the fittest.
Calvin Klein.
Okay, that's more. It's more dorky. It still is weird. I don't know. It's not
leader.
crazy.
She is
I
the
don't really
grand
care.
marshal of the Subaru gang. Play cut 427.
Should we be surprised that a company whose name is literally American Eagle
No, this is gonna be really cringe. It's gonna be very cringe.
is making fascist?
Now, 99% of people will say, "Oh, the ad's a little bit weird. It sounds a little bit weird." People online are gonna be weird with it. Like neo-Nazis online are gonna use it for their propaganda. It might not be intended for that, and you know, there's not going to be a huge freak out. Maybe some memes, maybe some jokes about it. Then this person's going to say, "Oh, American Eagle. It's called American Eagle. Oh, America's fascist. Therefore, it needs to be fascist propaganda." And Charlie Kirk is going to say that the 99% of people are represented by this 1% of people on TikTok or whatever. When most people just say, "Haha, this is weird. This is funny. This is kind of interesting. I'm going to make a parody about it." She sounds like an idiot, and like her voice is annoying in the advertisement. But again, Charlie Kirk is going to say, "Oh, all the liberals are saying this."
Propaganda like this? Probably not, but it's still really shocking. Like a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman is talking about her good genes.
It is crazy. It is
Like,
crazy. It is crazy. but it's
That
not.
is Nazi propaganda.
No, you don't gotta say it's Nazi propaganda. You could just say it's weird. You could just be like, "Hey, that's a little bit weird, bro."
Right. Look, I don't want to insult people's looks.
That random person on TikTok represents the entire world. I mean, actually, to be
But
honest.
it's obviously you're jealous. That's just it.
Yes, she's jealous. I'm actually jealous too. I'm very jealous, Charlie Kirk. I'm very jealous. Very jealous indeed, my brothers. Very jealous.
That's the undertone of all this.
You're jealous, bro. Charlie Kirk teaches young men act like such babies. Holy shit, such. Oh my god, bro. Like, it's actually crazy. You're just jealous. You're jealous, bro.
428. Why do these women disfigure themselves with like this? Play cut 428.
You guys are complaining about that Sydney Sweeney jeans ad.
Yeah, he's gonna pick out people from TikTok.
And so I went and saw it. That's Nazi propaganda. Wow. I thought it was gonna be like kind of bad. That's gonna be in history book.
Okay. Now, the owner of American Eagle.
I mean, I know Trump supporters calling for the genocide of all non-white people in America right now, but I'm not going to post a video of them and act like that's the entire Trump base.
Is like super Jewish.
To be honest,
gives a lot of money away. That doesn't even matter to these people, of course not. And cut
What?
426.
Wait, what matters?
Okay. Now, the owner of American Eagle is like super Jewish, gives a lot of money away. That doesn't even matter to these people, of course not. And cut 426.
Oh, Jewish.
Hey, you want to go to American Eagle?
Oh, I can't go in there because
I mean,
I'm black.
see, that's just stupid. It's dumb. It doesn't gotta be that deep. Bro, okay, this is stupid. Is it really that? I mean, is it that bad?
Hey, you want to go to American Eagle?
Oh, I can't go in there because I'm black.
I don't know, dude. Let the kids play, bro. Let the kids have fun.
Funny, I guess. Look, you want to know why young men are moving to the right? A bunch of these women, part of the super...
It's for emotional issues. I know young men are moving to the right because of emotional reasons. No logic whatsoever. Like, it doesn't matter what the economic policies are. It doesn't matter what the tax policies are. It doesn't matter about Trump's ties with Jeffrey Epstein, who Charlie Kirk now does not talk about because he got marching orders. Yeah, young men are moving to the right for cultural and emotional reasons. 100% emotions. I've never talked to a Trump supporting young person or Charlie Kirk who knows facts about anything. And they get called onto my show too. They'll say the craziest shit, and it all falls back on trans issues eventually, or gay people, or black people, or whatever.
Gang are screaming and yelling at them for being fascist. Remember, Brooke Shields did this ad. We're going to go over the break just a couple minutes. Brooke Shields literally did an ad about this in the 1980s. Brooke Shields kind of had a similar type of, let's just say, archetype as Sydney Sweeney does for young men. If you're a homeowner, you need to listen to this.
Wouldn't the traditional Charlie Kirk be like the person who's against Sydney Sweeney, and someone who's like, you know, who dresses like her? Isn't that like something conservatives are very against, like Charlie Kirk? I don't know. It's not that big of a story. It's not that big of a deal. I don't care. I really don't care. It sounds stupid. It's a dumb advertisement. It might be weird. It might not be weird. I don't know. Can you be Jewish? Charlie Kirk said the owners of American Eagle are Jewish. I mean, Stephen Miller is Jewish and he's a white supremacist. He is a white supremacist. He can be both. You can be both. Now, it's complicated. That would not be Nazism, though. It'd be something different. It'd be a different kind of supremacy, based on complexion, or based off historical origin, or based off of like Judeo-Christian values. So like Judeo-Christianity would involve, like Judeo-Christianity, those individuals would probably say like they're against Muslims, for example. Like Charlie Kirk's against Muslims. He hates them and brown people. So does Stephen Miller. But Judeo-Christianity allows Jewish people and Christians to work together. Not all Jewish people, just like very fundamentalists of both, Orthodox and fundamentalist. So like, it's important to understand that context. But Charlie Kirk is just going to rage bait. It's exhausting doing content like this, because Charlie Kirk can just be like, this is why men are moving to the right, because Sydney Sweeney hot, and they're all just jealous of Sydney Sweeney. It's just like such low level shit, bro. It's kind of crazy. But if young men are moving to the right for that, then I don't know what I can do. Well, I do know what I could do, but you know, it's not going to be logic. It's going to be more of a emotional talk, conversation. Podcasting. We got to do podcast. The Joe Rogan of the left with good genes. Oh my god. Drop a like, comment, subscribe. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to start up a new YouTube Shorts as well. I'm not getting any callers right now. We got to get some callers to debate. Young men aren't getting girls, so sensitive. I know people that use TPUSA, Turning Point USA, as like a dating platform, to be honest. Is she not hot though? Yeah, she is attractive. But I don't know if that's the main point here. If you have criticisms of what someone says and you're like, you're just jealous because I'm hot, it's just cringe. Respond to the point. Respond to the point, right? Trump sending nuclear submarines to wherever, blah, blah, blah. Oh, Pisco went on a panel with Tim Pool. That could be fun to react to while I'm waiting for callers. Okay, 145. We're going up a little bit in viewership. So we're gonna wait to see if we get any callers. I'll shut down the second YouTube Shorts until we figure that out. Okay, what else do I want to cover? What happened today? Job reports? Did Fox News cover the job reports? You agree, Steve Jobs? Okay. So Trump got bad job numbers today because of his tariffs, and he's striking the economy. He's killing green energy. He's killing our academics. He's killing many things in America right now. Manufacturing is going down, everything. Bad job numbers today, huge revisions the past 2 months, and he fired the person who does the numbers instead of actually making it better.
A shakeup at the Bureau of Labor Statistics as Wall Street digests a cooler than expected jobs report, and President Trump enacts new tariffs on countries yet to rebalance their trade arrangements, I should say, with the United States during the allotted time periods.
Remember, tariffs are a huge sales tax for Americans on imports. We pay that tax. Trump brags, he bags all that money. He brags about tariff revenue as if we're getting money from other countries, but that revenue is coming from American business profits and American pockets.
With some investors cheering the $150 billion in tariff revenue that has been collected in the U.S.
and they just brought up the revenue
this year. Here is one of them, Mr. Wonderful. Watch.
Mr. Wonderful. He's not a real businessman. You could bring up any person who does investing or equity or business, who actually manages real companies, and you bring up Mr. Wonderful, a known propagandist for the administration, a TV star. They got to get TV stars. I mean...
Tell me why the American economy right now is at its highest value in history. This is...
Because the graph goes up. The graph's going to go up. The issue is our economy is not growing nearly as fast as it was going to. Like, Trump gave us economic disruption for no reason. We're going to have recessions. We're going to have upturns, downturns. We're going to have different things happening globally that affect the economy. But Trump hurt our economy for no reason. He hurt our revenues for no reason. He hurt a lot of things in America.
Not an ad for Trump. I'm an investor. Something's working here. It's a policy decision. I'm a policy guy. The Europeans have been sucking 15% cash for 40 years.
Same guy who's unwilling to say tariffs raise prices, by the way. Adam Mockler was on CNN with him. He refused to say tariffs raise prices, which is very basic information.
Of America. And you're unhappy that we're doing the same thing to them? I don't think so.
You're taxing our people more. The average tariff that we were getting, American goods were tariffed in our allies, for example. Our allies, the average tariff they had on us was like 2%. Was like 1 or 2%. All right, we put like 30% tariffs on them. And by the way, when you put tariffs on a country, it's on their goods again. So Americans pay that tax. So we're talking to other countries. We're like, hey guys, we owned you. We're gonna tax our people even more. And they're like, okay, you're gonna tax your own citizens more on this product? We're like, hell yeah. And it's like, are you gonna encourage infrastructure and manufacturing to help pick up when the higher costs slow down economic production? Hell no. We have no actual plan for increasing manufacturing in America because Trump's a weenie.
Wonderful. So let's go to Fox Business correspondent Edward Lawrence live on this from the White House. Edward, what's going on this afternoon?
Yeah, Martha, those revisions, they caught the eye of the markets. They also caught the eye of the president. Now he has fired the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, a Biden appointee from 2023. Now, following up on that, the labor secretary posted on X, and she says this. I want to read this to you. Quote, I support the president's decision to replace Biden commissioner and ensure the American people can trust the important and influential.
By the way, the person they fired, they praised her other job reports. They praised her job reports this freaking morning, JD Vance did. But now they changed their mind because she does not fit their propaganda apparatus. I guarantee you they kept this person on for the stats just so when they had a bad month, they can fire her and make her the scapegoat. I guarantee you they kept her on for that reason.
Influential data coming from the BLS. There is her post just now. A huge revisions caught again the tension of the markets here, which are down. The Dow is down. Jobs created, they revised down by 125,000 for May, making only 19,000 jobs created that month. The revisions down
Those
for
are
June,
huge revisions.
130.
These are the biggest revisions and biggest number of like job losses in general, below expected number. Since COVID and since like the 70s recession.
3,000 jobs,
when we had stagflation under Carter.
Now, some market experts say with these numbers, there should have been a rate cut.
You can't cut the rates if you're going into more national debt already. You're increasing inflation with tariffs. Like, you can't just overheat the economy even more. Like, you can't decrease rates when the president's tariffs are the reason we need more economic production. We are purposely hindering an already, a pretty well-functioning economy. That'd be perfect for stagflation. That'd be crazy.
It's interesting because one presumes they had at least some of the preliminary components of this report when they were in their meeting on Wednesday and made the decision. They probably had an early look at this, so that probably
a president can purposely cripple the economy and then demand higher rates.
The two dissents,
that's
but
insane.
Amazing that Powell stood firm despite that in the face of this data.
And now within the last 4 minutes, we can break the news that the Federal Reserve
I have 15 likes. Drop more likes. I need more likes on the stream. We're going to get some callers.
Board of Governor Adriana Kluger has resigned. Her last day will be August 8th. She sent the letter to President Trump minutes ago, which means that President Trump gets to pick a new voting member for the Federal Reserve. Now, this comes on a day that the White House announced those new tariff rates on just about every country around the world, ranging from 10% to 40%.
Remember,
U.S. trade rep.
Remember when all these numbers were fake, by the way, of what they were charging us. Remember when Trump said we were going to get 100 deals in 90 days and we got 0 deals in 90 days? Literally 0 deals. By the way, if you want to drop a like, please comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. I'm close to 10% on my goal for like an actual studio. If you have anything on the side of any of your dollars, Jolah Politics and Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo, if you want to see me in a professional looking setup to record, Jolah Politics, Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo, or you can donate in the link in my description with the coffee link. Really appreciate it. Or become a patron on Patreon, or become a super chatter or a member.
Representative says tariffs prompted deals with countries. He adds that there are a lot more deals that need to be, or that are finished.
We have 0 deals so far.
At some
bargaining
point,
chip for what?
his view is maybe a tariff is better than a deal. So we certainly have some in the office.
Classic, bro. Classic. We need tariffs to get deals, but also, sometimes tariffs are better than deals. And also, we're using tariffs on Canada. Trump said we're going to tariff Canada more because they might recognize Palestine as a state, bro. And also, that's enough, actually. That's the only example I need.
If he wants them, but we're very focused on making sure we can protect American manufacturing and be able to reduce our trade deficit.
And officials at the White House are saying that these tariffs will lead to more trade deals down the road. Martha?
Thank you very much.
Yes, dude, the magical trade deals that have not happened yet and will never happen, apparently. That's crazy, bro.
Hey, it's Will Kane.
That's why Will Kane, he was on ESPN before, back in the day. He was terrible on ESPN too. I knew he was a conserva, a Fox idiot, a very dumb person on ESPN. And also remember when we talk about like tariff numbers and everything, like these are completely just the president doing it. Congress controls taxes and tariffs. They're supposed to, but Congress is not real right now. Congress is not real because they believe Trump is a dictator who should do everything by himself. So it's whatever. GG's. What's that all about? A conservative. What are you talking about? That's all I was saying. Eyeball out.
Click here to subscribe.
Click here. No, I'm not getting any callers, bro. I might have to restart my stream, low key, high key, middle key. I might need to do it because I have nothing to.
Get straight to it. Joining us now, co-host of the Prof G Markets podcast, Ed. Get straight to it. Joining us now, co-host of the Prof G Markets podcast, Ed Elson, staff
Why do they gotta look like liberals?
writer
bro?
for The New Yorker, Susan Glasser, and co-founder and director of economic policy at Veda Partners, Henrietta Treys. Henrietta, starting with you, the commissioner.
I want someone to come on here as a liberal that's like roided up to the max. They have like a very tiny tank top on, got back from the gym. They're drinking beef tallow. They're like, I don't like seed oils, but I do love universal health care.
Of labor statistics fired by the president, in Trump's words, for faking the jobs numbers and, quote, manipulating them for political purposes. Let's just fact check that.
This is offensive in the extreme. When we traffic in economic circles, I mean, I speak with chief economists, folks at BLS, Federal Reserve folks, Treasury folks all day, every day, and I have for 15 years now. What is happening here is about the worst case scenario that you could envision. Our data collection, our statisticians, our professors, the economists at all these agencies are the envy of the world in terms of their data collection. And it really recalls to me Trump's first term when he started telegraphing that he felt like democracy was a disadvantage versus President Xi's situation and a communist governing system, wherein he can famously manipulate the data coming out of China. And Trump viewed that as a disadvantage.
Yeah, during COVID, Trump tried hiding the COVID numbers. If you don't have the numbers, then COVID's not real, was the logic. He's a propaganda master, bro.
The United States had to adhere to because we have open, free data collection and reporting that is outside of his purview.
Yeah, but Trump wants to get rid of open data collection. He wants to block that, like every authoritarian. Trump wants a Ministry of Truth. He got his name removed from the Smithsonian impeachment exhibit. Like he is a dictator wannabe. He wants to be one, but hopefully he cannot become one.
And that's what he's undermining today. And it is about the worst thing you can do in economic circles right now.
So, Ed, respond to that and also give us a sense of what you think this would do to markets today.
Yes.
Well, I just want to first be honest. I thought I was going to come on here and talk about tariffs because that was the news that we were reacting to. I'm being completely honest. 5 minutes ago, I learned about what happened here. So I'm reacting in real time. And I think my initial reaction is this is what cartoon dictators do. If you don't like the data, you say that the data is lying, you blame the numbers.
True.
And I'm amazed at how shameless all of this is. And it is true. It rings true of what happened.
Remember when Trump literally said the good economic numbers are mine and the bad numbers are Biden's, bro?
In China, where you have an authoritarian regime where if economists speak out and say that there's anything wrong going on with the economy, suddenly the economist disappears and we don't know what happened to them. And so I don't want to start getting alarmist, but it is exactly what you would imagine a dictator in a Marvel movie would start to.
I also believe that all these different things Trump is doing to kill information flows and all this kind of stuff in the modern era, things are so pampered and plush in modern life. I really do think it takes a serious shakeup to really get like someone to care about the whole authoritarian thing. You could say threat to democracy, existential, but no one believes that until the worst things happen. You need like actual war or a huge attack or like a huge collapse or economic crash for people to really believe it, to shock the system, to make them actually care. Because right now everything's a meme, bro. Everything's a meme. No one cares about any truth or anything like that. They think it's all fake. It can't happen here. It can't happen here. Nothing bad ever happens here. We're in America. Like, it really is kind of scary and sad, but it's true.
To do. That is my live, honest reaction. I'm going to keep paying attention to what's happening to the markets. We've seen a lot of taco-type reactions from the markets thus far. The market saying, okay, we don't really believe you. It's fine. He's not really going to do it. I mean, first he said July 9th was the deadline, then August 1st. Now he's pushing it to August 7th. But with this, I don't know. Maybe this cuts it. I'm not sure.
Okay, well, so let's talk about the tariffs for just a second here. What's a bigger issue for the markets? This, perhaps, the tariffs, or the job situation that we see evolving today as well?
Well,
it's
from my
honestly
seat,
very. Go ahead.
Either
sorry.
one of you. Ed, take it first, and then we'll get to you.
Okay, great.
Beautiful.
From my perspective, the markets are in a state of paralysis, and the paralysis is also a sense of fatigue.
It's if you change policies every single day, businesses cannot make investments. These investments might be 3-year investments, 5-year, 8-year, 10-year, whatever the number of years is that they decide to do a project for. Moving supply chains, making factories be built is really hard. Takes a lot of time, takes a lot of care, takes a lot of money. In this environment of there's no laws under Trump, there's no structure, the tariffs change every day. It really does freeze investment and freeze innovation and all that kind of stuff. It's really bad for the free market. Like, it's really the worst possible thing you can do. But again, people don't really know until they get fired themselves or until the AI surveillance state takes over. But by then it's too late. Yeah, they don't really know until there actually is a crash. Like, things can be bad. And Americans right now are so selfish. They'll just say like, oh, the bad thing's happening to my neighbor. I'm not losing my health care. Or like, I'm not having issues with tariffs or I'm not having issues with this or that. But by the time they do have it, it's going to be too late. It's a really fun time. Really cool.
So, you know, when we saw Liberation Day Part 1, the market reacted to that and they said, okay, this is serious. And we saw one of the greatest crashes we've ever seen in the history of the stock market. Then we see Liberation Day Part 2, and then we see Liberation Day Part 3. And gradually, the market has been getting tired of having to react to the news to the point where I think that the market is just defaulting to what is easiest, and that is to just kind of buy tech stocks and hold. That is my view of what is happening right now. The question for me is, at what point does the market decide, okay, this one is serious. This one is a real problem. And I think I need a little bit more.
Why is everything going good right now? That's the thing, though. Like, that's exactly what I mean. It's going bad for a lot of people. It's going bad for a lot of people with student loans, a lot of people who work in, service industries, a lot of people that work in healthcare, a lot of people that work in every industry, pretty much, actually. Around 200 hospitals are going to close down because of the big, beautiful bill. We have a bunch of green energy projects and battery factories being shut down now because of the big, beautiful bill. Like, all this stuff is going to hurt America gradually. We're losing manufacturing jobs. We're losing infrastructure investments. And again, you're not going to know that until it's too late. It's like you're in a boat and the wood isn't sealed properly and keeps on getting water inside it. And we tell you to fix the hole. It's like, hey, the boat's still floating, bro. I mean, there's no problem. Because you can't see the external damage, and eventually it's going to splinter through, and you're going to sink. But by that time, it's going to be too late. So how do you get enough people who are affected first to care about the issue to actually make a political change before the entire boat sinks is really the question. So hopefully enough people wake up before it's too late for a lot of this stuff. All right, please drop a like, comment, subscribe. I might make a new stream, guys. I'm not getting enough viewers to get callers. I got no callers so far. Vegas is dead. Yeah, Vegas is going to be dead for a little bit. And again, America, you can say, like, Americans are selfish. It's just how it is. Like, you don't care much about your neighbors. It's just how it is. So if your neighbors lose healthcare, you don't give a shit. If your neighbors are brutalized, you don't give a shit. If your neighbors lose their jobs and they worked in science or something because the grants are cut, you don't give a shit. You don't give a shit that cancer research was cut by 50%. You don't care. You really just don't care. You're more than happy to just keep on consuming cheap Chinese or products in your garage while you drink yourself to death. And you're going to be mad, yelling screaming at the TV screen until you die. It's just what it is. Okay, I'm making a new stream. Please drop a like. Yeah, biggest transfer of wealth to the rich. Wait. Yeah, to the rich, yeah. And the tariffs are helping pay for it. And that affects the poor even more. Alright, I'm gonna make a new stream, guys. Like I said, algorithm's not catching right now. And if I don't get the algorithm going, then I can't get callers, and I need callers to... I need callers to talk to. Alright, guys, so I'm making a new stream, same channel. See you guys there. I'm shutting this one down, same channel, just refresh it really quick. Catch you really quick. Why didn't Biden cure cancer like he promised? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that meant he had ambitions for it, and that's why Biden increased cancer funding. Tell me why Trump cut cancer funding in half and Alzheimer's research in half. Why would he do that? Kind of crazy, to be honest. But again, you don't care because you're stupid and gay. Very gay. Extremely. I'm homophobic, by the way.